hill in just a second because I don't like it. And that trash on the beach that I just added. See, and this is too controlled. I'm going to put some of that green. I don't have any green in here. So there's a little bit of green at the bottom of that. So I mix ultramarine and the yellow. I don't want it really bright because it's in the shadows. But I'm going to throw some of that back in here just to add a little bit of variety. Variety is good. Again, sometimes, like I said, I overwork things. Add a little more light, a little white to some of the browns that I have made to create some of the more distinct foliage. But I don't want it to look all the same. And let's get a clean paper towel before I start dabbing at the painting. that might be better. All right, see, so that bothered me, so I'm just going to break it up with a paper towel. There was a little too many sticks over there, so I'm going to break that up. So I'm going to come back now with a more controlled brush and just lay in some, I can just, create some little lines that'll indicate that. And I totally forgot the, out here, there's a little more water showing. So I'm going to pick up some white with the first blue. And I'm going to lay in just a little more light right in here to indicate the water coming in. Sheldon being nice.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just dragging that, adding just a little bit, and then they're way out there in the far distance there's a lighter tone on the water. That's too brown. My white wasn't clean. Okay, I'm feeling better about that. Now I haven't done. This needs more work, but not much. I don't want to overdo it, so I'm just going to get some more of the darker color, scumble it in. Is that purple? I still want that underpainting to show through because there's a lot of warmth in that sand. So now I'm going to go back to my footstep brush, which is a filbert. And yeah, why not? That's just what I call it today. Tomorrow will be another purpose. But when you do steps in the sand, of course you don't want them to all look alike. Some are going one direction, some are going to another. And if you really look closely at them, then there's a highlight on one side, especially in the sand over here. So if I have a dark edge, I want to come back at least on some of them. That's probably a little too thick. I don't want to be where every step looks the same, but I want a few that are high enough to know that that sand got dented in. And there's a hole there. Mm-hmm. So just by paying attention to a little bit of shape of things, I want a little highlight on that. I don't want too much highlight down here because it's in the shadow. So I don't want the highlight to be as bright. But I do want to indicate that some. I've put too much mess here and it kind of obliterated I use that word too much. The sand underneath almost said snow because it kind of looks like snow. So I'm going to come in kind of like I would with sky holes, and I'm going to put back in some of the sand. because I didn't like, I didn't like it. I'm going to make that top a little taller. And I'm going to do some little bit of random grasses. I just picked up the orange that I'd made. I want some warmth in here. Some other warmth up in here. I don't put much warmth back there because it's further away, and warm colors pull forward. So the stuff in the back doesn't even have to be, I mean, it could even be just blurred more. You know, I could just, you know, blur it out if I wanted to. But again, here I go with my realistic, be true to myself. Okay, I don't like this corner right here, so I'm going to just bring up the paint so it pulls my eye in rather than pulling my eye off. When I step back, this part in the picture is in the light. It captures a little light here, and I haven't shown that but I showed it because see I have all this light here. So I'm going to add a little bit of a hill, a tiny hill, right underneath where some of this is, where a little bit of the light is caught. So that some of those colors will make more sense. It needs to be a little brighter. Ooh, not that bright. See, oop, went too far. See, my brain telling me, oh, keep going. Nope. That's what happens when you don't look at your reference photo or where you are. That's I want that blue. And I want some of this blue as well, but muted enough that it looks like the sand goes up a bit. And I'm going to add just a little bit of that somewhere else down below here. There's other ridges of sand. So when I add a little more light, now it looks like it's going, like, I don't like that. Why? Because it's like splitting. There's something about that I don't like, so it's pulling my eye too far off, so I'm going to soften that one. I just want my eye, I want what's there to make sense as far as light. And through here I have light on my brush. Oop, not enough. So I'm going to let some more light come in here. As you can see the light coming in, because this, it's coming in right toward this dune. So I want the sand to be a little lighter. It's leading it in. So that makes sense? And the only thing I think I want to do now is make this corner darker and cooler so that it'll pull you into the painting. So I'm just going to get a little bit more of that ultramarine, mix it with some of the sand color that I had, get a different brush. That one was too controlled. This one's out of control. So, nice combination. And I could put a ton more footsteps, but you want enough that it tells the story. Still think I need it darker. When I squint and I compare it here, it's darker. So I'm going to be a little more bold and go, And maybe I won't regret it, but we'll see.
Wow. Is that purple?
It had purple in it. Purple, blue, alizarin. I just wanted it darker because I wanted your eye to be led to the dune and not hang out here. Put some of that over here. We have ripples. I mean, I could work it to death probably, but is that enough?
It's beautiful.
See, now, backing up, I do need to do something else. When I back up and look at the photo, some of the lightest parts on my dune have a yellow cast. Do you see that now?
Yeah.
I haven't done anything like that. And remember, my light is warm.
Even
So-
these ones in the back that are
Mhm.
they have like that yellowish.
So I'm going to clean what's on my brush because I have very little of any yellow on my brush. All of my brushes. I think I've had 5 out for this little painting. I usually don't do that, but it's nice to have a variety. I'm going to use probably the one I use for the footsteps, just because I can, that or the Tischler one. It is very, very pale yellow, so if I go too yellow, it's not going to read right. But I do want some warmth on there. Ooh, and that's really, really bright.
Yeah.
So we'll just see what happens. See how it's kind of scary to just lay it in and leave it. Now I won't leave that glob, that's for sure, but it does go up and around. And I don't want to obliterate everything that I did. That's too bright for shadows, so I'm going to take that off. Oops. Like that, oops.
Yeah.
Y'all like it when I do that, don't you?
Makes us feel good about
Yes,
it.
it does.
Even
even
Carrie
you
makes
go,
the
oops.
occasional oops. That's right. The best.
Oh, far from it, but I'm working on it. I bet I have close to 10,000 hours, but
Wow.
no, I don't know.
It's interesting, the footsteps on the dune have their highlighted the back of the step, where
Mhm.
the ones on the beach have the highlighted
Yep.
front.
Good point. Yeah, it's how
Because
the
of how it
it's how the
catches the
sun
light.
yeah how the sun catches it. But do you see how just adding the warmth of that made that glow just a little bit more? All right, that's a little too thick for me. Step back.
Was that a lemon yellow?
Yes, it was. Good question. Lemon yellow and a lot of white. I actually should have started with white and added just a tiny bit of lemon yellow. It's not good to start. If you want a light color, a really light color, and you know you're going to use white, start with white. It's a little easier. Okay, because I have yellow there, I'm going to also put a tad bit of yellow over here. A little bit of it in some of the streaks on the I just don't want it to look too contrived, too controlled, and that's what I have a tendency to do when I'm painting footsteps. So I'm going to pull some of this warmth in on the sand. Okay, what, something bothers me, y'all, anything bother y'all? This is too bright to me. I want to knock that down a little bit. I mean, I want it lighter, but I don't want it pulling my eye off the,
Right above your dune and to the right.
Yeah.
From the angle I'm at, is that too light, that piece of water? I can't tell from here.
Where-
'Cause
here?
That one, yeah, because at my angle, I'm seeing it differently. How's it look to you?
It's not
It's-
quite as
Yeah.
light
It's-
as the distant light.
And your
Well,
it's
dip
not
is-
as light, that, those are warmer. I think those need to be cooler.
Yeah,
those need to be
those
bluer.
teeny dunes in the back. you
Uh-huh.
mean? Yeah.
I think that, do you see how, to me, they should be bluer than this one? Even though, well, didn't have enough paint on it to come off. Even though it's warm white and it's yellow here, that's further away. And I want it to read further away. So it's got to be cooler. I like that better.
Mm-hmm.
Anything else? Y'all have the fresh eyes, see?
Mm.
Okay, see, I can come along here and I can just add texture by dabbing my brush. You know, because the beach is not smooth. So however much, you know, you want to add, I mean, you could do that down here even with a bigger brush. I wouldn't really do it with, you know.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Close enough. Close enough for
Beautiful.
government work.
Beautiful.
I could make this a little darker, but I'm afraid if I did, you know, I really want this to be more the focal point than this over here.
Mm-hmm.
I think I have enough there to show depth.
Mm-hmm.
I could pull in a little more blue behind this. I mean, you know, I love color. Throw in color. Even shadows. So, and those ripples have a lot of blue in them. Sand ripples. See, I gotta leave it alone, I'm gonna ruin it. Oh well. Good enough?
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Quick
Yay.
draw winner.
Yeah.